Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're heading home now on our study of the book of Ecclesiastes. He began the book, Solomon began the book by saying, I'm conducting an experiment. By asking his question, what profit is there in anything we do under the sun? So the entire book is really about life on earth as we live it. And as I've continued to say, this book is not about a choice between heaven and hell. It's not Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. He's taken eternity out of the equation. It's about a choice between life and death, between a life well lived and a life that's been squandered. And he's been making some preliminary observations and findings along the way. He detailed early on, I tried everything. I had power, I had money, and I had wisdom. So I could do what I wanted, and I could pay for what I wanted, and I had the brain cells to process the information as I experienced it. And that's what he's been talking about in this book. And in chapter 11, we're heading home. He's making already made some preliminary life lessons about living your life well. And I think about two big ones that he's returned to over and over again. The first one, two are better than one, from chapter 4, that it's important to make connection and to find a life partner, and if you can find that person, or to have not to live your life alone, to have someone or someones upon whom you can depend. That's going to be necessary in your life here on earth under the sun. And the thing that he's repeated over and over again, enjoy the life that you've been given. Enjoy the time on earth that you've been given. Enjoy that life partner. Enjoy your meals, whether it's bread or a banquet. And enjoy the work that you've been given to do, and devote yourself, invest yourself fully in what your hands find to do. Do it with all your might. So those are important life lessons. I mean, they just really are. I don't know that there are any larger ones for living life under the sun, except for the conclusion that he's going to make at the end, when he allows eternity to break in and inform everything we've learned through his experiment. But we're really beginning to drive home some eternal truths in chapter 11. So we're going to read verses 1 through 4. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a portion to 7 or even 8, for you know not what disaster may happen on the earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they are empty. They empty themselves on the earth. And if a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where the tree falls, there it will lie. He observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. We've used this passage, I've used this passage as an encouragement to share the gifts that we've been given. And it is that. But it's not so much a given you shall get. I mean, he says that. You know, the best use of your gifts is to enjoy them and share the joy of them with others. But this is not a seed faith, make $1 million, cable televangelist scheme. That's not what this is. It's too clear-eyed about the way life is for that. He says it is what it is. We're not going to change the world in which we live, but we can help each other through it. If the clouds are full, it's going to rain. If the tree falls to the south, it falls to the south. If it falls to the north, it falls to the north. Things are what they are. You can't change that, and I can't either. But if we observe the clouds, if we think about that tree, we won't get out there and live our lives. Things are what they are. And we can't seclude ourselves, cloister ourselves away from the way life is. Get out there and live your life. Enjoy the gifts that you've been given and share them with people who are around you, particularly those who are in need. Cast your bread upon the waters. And, you know, bread is the staff of life. Bread was the primary, um, calorie source for most people. And to just throw it on the water is to give it to the fishes or the birds. You know, it seems like a wasteful thing to do. But he's talking about sharing with others, give a portion to 7 or even to 8, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when they're going to need it or when you're going to need friends that you've helped before. And so that's the first hard and fast lesson, that conclusion that he's going to make. It's not the way he's lived his life, not at all. I mean, he's told us in this book that what he had, he used to experiment with so that he could have every experience and enjoy every pleasure life had to offer without sharing it with anybody. And so this is a hard-earned lesson for him, but it's a lesson that he shares with us, and that is an eternal lesson for us. We're going to pick up with verse 5 tomorrow. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word.